Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Oh, my goodness. Yes, I know it's late. Yes, I know it's not typically immediately following tonight's AEW Dynamite, but the Bone Man was very busy. That's right. The Bone Man had stuff to do. And I'm not gonna lie, if it sounds like I'm tired, it's because I'm exhausted. I'm completely exhausted. It was a long day today, including a drive up to our new place, which it is our new place now. It's like officially not official. We're signing paperwork where the good faith money is down and stuff like that. We had the inspection done today, and that's not something you experience all the time, so that was interesting. Very nice guy. That always helps. Very informative. And what else? So then in the process of driving back, we decided, well, it's middle of the afternoon. We didn't have lunch, so we had kind of a celebratory meal at Culver's. That was amazing. Man, I hadn't had a Reuben of theirs in a long time. So I had a Reuben melt. That was delicious. What else? And then I came home and decided to mow everything until I realized that the mower was not working correctly. So I call up my buddy Dino. He was gracious enough to come over and help me because I'm not much of a handyman. I know how to like turn stuff on and off. I know where to put the gas in the thing and turn it on and crank it and all right, let's go. Fixing stuff, yeah, not so much. So called him up. He came over and helped fix my mower and zip. Racing daylight as where the sun's going down, and got it done in like an hour. So yeah, and then I decided to I had a beer, which was actually given to me by my buddy Dino. This is so funny. He comes over to help me and he hands me a beer. I'm like, isn't this supposed to be the other way around? But he makes homemade beer, and I haven't had one of his beers in a long time, and I barely drink anymore. But he made I can't remember exactly what he called it. It's a mulberry, let's call it a mulberry beer. So he used fresh mulberries in the brew, homemade, and it was unique. It had kind of a heavy taste to it, but it was absolutely delicious. So it was nice and it was cold, and so yeah, good stuff. Had that while I was watching the AEW. Stayed off my phone, so I didn't get any spoilers because I was watching it late. Wow, what an episode. As far as news, I really don't have any news. At least I don't think I do. Let me go on the old oh, you know what? I did see something. Give me a moment here. Okay, this is kind of interesting. Now, I haven't been keeping up with MLW, but I see like who's in it, and I see like, promotions for upcoming events and stuff. So apparently at the next event, I don't even know where this is happening at. Let me open up this article. Excuse me. MLW Women's Featherweight title bout set for Wrestling Showcase. Oh no, this is the Wrestling Showcase. So they're putting an MLW Women's title on their event. This is that new thing coming out of, what is it, Chicago? I think the Wrestling Showcase is August 24th. The Wrestling Showcase shared the news as announced on Busted Open Radio. Oh, that Taya Valkyrie will defend the MLW Women's Featherweight Championship at the event. Challenged by Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green, the reigning Impact Knockout World Tag Team Champions. That is going to be a lot of fun. Okay, here we go. Wrestling Showcase is set to take place on September 3rd, and it will be from the Hyatt Regency in Schaumburg, Illinois. Well, that's where the original first StarCast stuff took place at the original All-In Weekend. That's interesting. The show will feature a one-night tournament set to crown the first ever Wrestling Showcase champion. Now, I've heard other matches listed for that, but I couldn't tell you them off the top of my head. That's very interesting, though. So MLW is getting in on the act of that. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Kevin Nash is going on a promotional tour for his Jackknife Cannabis brand. Oh, man. So I imagine, like, if you smoke his stuff, it's going to hit you like a jackknife power bomb. Jiminy Christmas. Somebody stop him. No, I'm kidding. That's a hell. Oh, and the promotional picture here is Kevin Nash on an ice cream bar? Really? That's hilarious. Anything else here? Not too much else. And no, just because of all the other stuff going on, I really haven't watched much of WWE stuff this week. I still have Raw on my DVR. If I have a chance, I'll check it out. Probably won't review it, but I'll try and check it out because I've heard nothing but positive about it. I heard it amazing. Oh, what was it? The Wrestle Talk does the quick 5-minute review Tuesday mornings, and I was like, okay, well, I missed it, but I wanted to hear their thoughts, and they're usually pretty, if it sucks, they'll tell you it sucks. If it's great, they'll tell you they think it's great. And it was like nothing but positive. It was like, wow, that's good to hear. And for those of you who watch Impact Wrestling on Access TV, I saw an article within the last few days, something about last week's numbers were bad, and they're kind of blaming it on cable systems not putting it as a new, I don't know who they're like really blaming on, if it's Access TV or the cable systems that it's coming up on, not showing it as a new show. But I checked this week's and I checked next week's, and neither one was scheduled to record. Now, granted, I sit here and I watch, live and do the live reaction through the other podcast, TNI, Total Nonstop Impact. But I just wanted to let you guys know that if you guys don't watch the live reaction, but you watch Impact on Access TV or you don't watch it live because you DVR it, make sure whoever you watch it through, whatever cable company or source, whatever, whoever you watch Access TV from, make sure it's still recording, because there's issues there, and hopefully they breaking news from Just Alex. Oh, I know that guy. Currently waiting for Fightful or PW Insider to confirm reports. Once it's confirmed, we will do another live show on it. Saw the reports of Eddie Kingston being suspended and Thunder Rosa leaving due to some heat with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Well, tonight on the show, which I was about to get to, they report that she's injured? So is she not injured and there's like some stuff going on? Bonkers, we will get to that. That is big news too. Good evening. I don't know. It's like, you hear stuff and you really don't know what to believe. And I usually don't like reporting on certain things unless I know it's like a result of a show and it's factual. And Bell's Boys says, but no word on any supposed injury. It's okay, Bonkers. Don't worry about it. It's not like you're giving me spoilers. I watched the show. We're going to get to it. And there was a supposed talent meeting before the show. You know what? I thought I saw a headline. You know what? Give me a second here. What's going on? What's happening? Oh no, Rampage spoilers. No, we won't go over that. I saw the headline. Tony Khan explains reasoning for putting. No, that's not it. Taya Valkyrie would love to team with John Morrison and challenge Sammy Guevara and Ty. Says Mello. Is that her like real last name or something? It's Guevara. She's married now. I could have sworn I saw an article on something about the implosion. Yeah, Guevara is still alive. Well, he just got married, so he's been celebrating his he's been on his honeymoon. So you gotta just, cut him some slack. I'm sorry. I could have swore I saw there was like a headline here about. Oh, here it is. I thought I saw this. Reported details about AEW talent meeting, internal communication, and other topics discussed. All right, so this is through Fightful. Subsequently, wrote that Khan was said to be fired up for the meeting, which discussed topics like collectively working as a team, lines of communication, and clarifying who the talent could talk to, along with access to Khan, were also points of the conversation. Previously, rumors of miscommunication and lack of access had started circulating. Sources noted that Kenny Omega and the Bucks emphasized that their door is always open. They're still EVPs. I guess. So there's that. So talent can come to them. I mean, they started it, so that makes sense. They're not just talent, it means something. Additionally, the previously reported contract tampering and inquiry rumors were addressed, with sources indicating that AEW's chief legal officer sent a message to WWE's co-CEOs Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon about the allegations. Otherwise, Sapp wrote that Jericho and Tony Schiavone also spoke at the meeting. Tony Schiavone is, I guess he's like a pretty top guy as far as talent relations now, or something. I forget exactly what his title is, but he's a senior guy in the company now, which makes sense, you know. Shivani recently took on a more responsibility, in the talent relations department. There you go. All right, so that talks a little bit about what was going on. Obviously, some of that stuff is not going to hit the light of day. So yeah, I mean, is every company going to be perfect with their internal stuff? No. Look at WWE in the last few decades. Production guys being just absolutely walking on eggshells around Vince McMahon, and now I've heard that the atmosphere backstage is like just so a lot more calm, and that's great to hear that, Trips is really changing stuff. This is too much, says Critical. Rumors. God, gotta love all the rumors. So yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it. And hey, there's my favorite nephew. Good evening, Paul. So yeah, let's talk about, and I don't have anything in front of me. I didn't write anything down. So I'm going to kind of just go off of, oh, I totally just clicked off the wrong thing. My goodness. The 24th, stop moving. The 24th of August. Oh my God, August is almost over, folks. So yeah, let's talk about some AEW, shall we? And by all means, if I hear anything about some major internal news, I'll talk about it on a future show. But to take some of that you hear with a grain of salt. Jim Ross fan zone. Yeah, call the 800 number. Get your parents' permission and find out all the behind the scenes action at AEW. And order my barbecue sauce too. All right, so we got Jay Lethal and Dax Harwood. This was a great match. And we got some really interesting news that I know Impact Wrestling fans are going to be talking about for a while. Come to find out that after Jay got the win, that why is all this shit bouncing around the page? After Jay Lethal beat Dax, he grabbed the microphone while going up the ramp and said, I never announced who my tag partners were going to be versus you and it's Wardlow and FTR. So then all of a sudden, it showed on the screen, it's the Motor City Machine Guns music starts playing, and I was like, oh my God, What? That's crazy. Motor City Machine Guns to AEW confirmed. No, I'm not overthinking this. I'm not assuming anything. This probably has to do with. I mean, there's a relationship there. You know, we can talk all we want about the failed Forbidden Door thing between AEW and Impact Wrestling. Look, it wasn't all bad. It was fun. Could it have been better at times? Sure. But you know, we did get some fun stuff out of it. I know one of the great things you could say definitely was like Kenny Omega. So obviously, you know, the companies still want to do stuff together once in a while. And you know, what is a payoff going to be for this? I guess we're going to find out in the future. Some people I've seen online already saying that it's going to lead to Motor City Machine Guns versus FTR at Bound for Glory. Now, you know, please take that with a grain of salt too. That'd be amazing. You know, no matter what you think of the company of AEW, FTR is still one of the top teams in professional wrestling and in tag team professional wrestling. So to see them versus Motor City Machine Guns. Now, I don't, you know, FTR has, you know, what, 5-10 titles now. They're just, my God, they need like a wheelbarrow to, like, you know, wheelbarrow all the titles out right now. It's getting ridiculous. No, they've got like 3 of them or something. I don't know what titles they would be for, or maybe it's just a dream match. I have no idea. I'm not going to overthink it. It's just cool to see, because Jay Lethal, I mean, if you go back in history of TNA, these guys were all in the X division at one point, you know, with or without the team being there of Motor City Machine Guns. So to see like an X division reunion happening at All Out at the pay-per-view, I think it's pretty damn cool. Win or lose, I don't care. It's going to be fun. And where it leads to in the future, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see, you know? So, but by all means, you know, what do you think as a fan think that this is going to lead to? Drop it in the chat, you know? So yeah, that's pretty wild. So yeah, hot stuff kicking off the show here. Then we get Colten Gunn with his brother Austin defeating his father, Billy Gunn. And he had Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. And then you know, there was a beatdown after the match, and they were saved by Keith Lee and Swerve. So the father has now beaten, or excuse me, the son has now beaten the father, which it's it's wild. It's fun, you know, the fact that Billy Gunn is back with the Acclaimed, and there's a lot of scissoring going on. I still don't understand the scissoring, but it seems like a lot of it seems like a lot of fun. You know, you get excited and you scream this. I'm not going to scream now. I don't have the energy for it, but you scream, "Scissor me, Daddy," or "Daddy Gun," or whatever. You know, you start. Never mind. We continue. So, so I guess this is all in all. It's going to lead to Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, the Acclaimed, taking on Keith Lee and Swerve, I think at the pay-per-view. Don't quote me on that. I think that's what they said that's going to happen. So hey, that's pretty cool. Anna in the chat says, I'm not the only one who doesn't get it. Bell's Boy says it is at All Out. Okay, that was right. Because a lot of times when they do stuff on Dynamite, stuff then happens on Rampage. But no, they're still building up the card for the pay-per-view. So there you go. Britt Baker, DMD. Oh, okay. So now before this is where we got the announcement of a very emotional Thunder Rosa talking about that she can't be champion anymore and that she's injured. So at least I'm pretty sure they said that she was injured. And then Britt Baker was sounding off later after her match with KiLynn King. And what's weird is the match that's happening at All Out is Toni Storm. It's a fatal four-way. It's Toni Storm versus almost said KiLynn King. No, Toni Storm versus Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida. Couldn't think of her name for a second. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be, but it's a damn shame about Thunder Rosa. So, but I mean, she was visibly upset, crying on live TV. So, I mean, I would hope, well, not that, okay, I have to be careful how I phrase this. I would hope that she would be off TV because she's injured, not because there's some kind of internal politics that drove her out of the company. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? Not that I want anybody to be injured, but, you know, when you hear about stuff like that, it's... So we'll find out soon enough. I mean, that stuff I'm sure will hit the... that stuff will hit the light of day somewhere, somehow, some way. But all right, then we get but yeah, so KiLynn King was beat by Britt Baker, and that was a pretty good match. They keep bringing back KiLynn King. I really thought they were going to make her part of the roster. That was back when Cody, right before he left, started bringing in people like Fuego del Sol and some of those guys. And she was in that list. But then, you know, things change in the company and directions change. And apparently they didn't think she was ready or something. I don't know. Now, I found it very interesting that Mox and Punk were not the main event, that it was the now I don't get me wrong, I understand that the trios tournament is important, but I really thought that Punk and Mox were going to be the headlining match. And honestly, out of dumb luck, I guess you could say, it's you know, not that an injury is luck, but I mean, if they did, you know, block out X amount of minutes for the main event and it got done in a matter of, you know, a very short period of time, then you're left with all this extra TV time, you know, then what do you do? So I guess in a sense, it's good that it happened this way, that the trios tournament was the main event. But, you know, here's the thing. I was shocked. I was so excited. I mean, exhausted as I was today with everything I had going on. The one thing that I was looking forward to was Mox versus Punk. And it's two of my favorites. So, and part of me was like, I don't know who the hell I just want a good match, you know? And I think a lot of people assumed, like, even though I preach, don't assume in wrestling, but yeah, even I myself, I'm guilty of it. It sounded like Punk was going to get his title back and be the top guy. But I also thought that some kind of screwy finish was going to happen. A lot of people were talking about that, and that they would end up having a rematch or something would go down at All Out, and it would still be the main event. Well, we have Moxley as the champ now. Now, here's the thing. I know sometimes they put it out there, and this is wrestling. I try not to overthink this. It's just crazy how this all went down, And I'm not going to lose sleep over this, trust me. But you know how they put an injury storyline into something. Now, Punk was out with a legit injury. He had surgery on his foot, or whatever he had on his foot. I really never heard the full details, but it was on his foot. And that's a shitty thing to injure, because it's a crazy thing to heal. There's only so many things you can do with a foot. So, all right, here's critical state, and I want to get your opinions on this. And you're not going to upset me. I just want to see what you guys think. Like, is this is the injury that happened with Punk, did he re-injure himself? Is this legit? It looked legit. I mean, it looked legit that he hurt himself, and then Mox was just all fired up and then just finished him off with a couple of finishers. Here, Critical Sting here says there's. Oh no, that's not what I was going to highlight here. There's no convincing me that they put a title unification match in the middle of a show if they didn't plan for it to end funny. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Anna says, I think they suspected that Punk may not be able to go the full match. Okay. Mark says, Mox is fucking awesome. I'm not complaining about him being a top guy again. Hey, neither am I. I love Mox. I'm glad he's and the promo he put on like later in the after he won was like, oh my God. He's so like uber fired up. It's crazy. So what is this? Red Comet Man? Oh, well, welcome. I've never heard of you, but welcome. I'd rather them do this on free TV than at All Out. I'm going there, and that would be way worse. Okay. Red Comet Man. All right. Gotcha. Mark says the promo was great. Yeah, man. When Mox is like on 10, he's all fired up, dude. There's nothing better than that, man. I love it. So, yeah, just shocked that Mox, number one, that Mox is champ, and that it went down like this. I certainly don't wish that on Punk or anyone. I feel for him. So I really I'm really curious to see what the reports are when, in the next couple days that come out about CM Punk and what actually happened. Is it if it's storyline, if it's like, oh man, but because I mean the guy couldn't even walk. Ace Steel and a bunch of guys had to like practically carry him out. So yeah. Carolyn? Okay, welcome, Carolyn. She's talking about her garage or some garage in her backyard. I'm a little confused here. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but hey, welcome to the chat. The Cleveland screw job. That's funny. Right, and you knew Mox was gonna like. I mean, it was a fairly split crowd when it really kicked into high gear when the match started. But you knew Mox. This is Mox country, man. This is it's. Is it as high? Like I've heard some people say it's his hometown, Ohio. He's certainly from Ohio, or he's from Cincinnati. I don't know. But anyways, it's certainly good to see Mox as champ. And when I learned something about Punk, I will I'll clue you guys in on it. I'm sure it's going to be. Oh, Anna says he's from Cincinnati. Now, where was the show tonight? Was it in Cleveland? I mean, it's the same state, so no matter somewhere in Ohio, you're going to give some love to Mox, right? So, main event time. Now, this is interesting because a couple of these guys in this match are going to end up in Impact Wrestling later this week. And I can't wait to see that match unfold because I haven't seen Aussie Open perform in a lot of matches. The only ones I've seen them perform in are basically ones in AEW. But now apparently they are tag team champions in New Japan. But it's for the US, it's the Strong brand that's touring the US right now. And I think that's great that they've got their own titles. And that really makes that branch touring the US feel a lot more legit. It doesn't make them feel like like a second-rate project of New Japan. I mean, the talent is talent, and they're all incredible, And I've tried to pay some attention to it, but I haven't watched all their stuff. But in fact, some of it was featured on the New Japan show that follows Impact Wrestling on Access TV. So, but yeah, so here's the main event. We got the AEW World Trios Championship Tournament. It's a first round match. We got Death Triangle consisting of Pac, Penta. I always call him Pentagon Jr. I don't know what character he's. Sometimes it's Oscuro. Sometimes it's not. I don't know what he is, but he always kicks ass. So whatever it is, he's always Pentagon to me. And then Rey Fenix versus United Empire from New Japan, which is Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis. Now, the latter two, Fletcher and Davis, are Aussie Open, and they're the ones who are going to be at the Impact tapings in a few days. So I'm very excited to see they're facing the Motor City Machine Guns. maybe that's something that's going to lead to something on AEW, or, I don't want to try to predict or assume anything, but I don't know. Yes, Mark, thanks. Appreciate that. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button if you're new. I'm seeing a lot of new names in here. Welcome. And if you're digging the content, by all means, smash that sub button too. Ring that bell for notifications. Oh, Carolyn's ranting. All right, I got to read this. All right, hang on a second. She says, rant over. Let's see what this is. Moxley had the belt for too long. Wait, okay, so that's a question. Moxley had the belt for too long, then Punk popped the ratings. How could they think it's a good idea to give the strap back? Meanwhile, Brian and Claudio sitting over there being the two best guys. Okay. So that kind of goes off of what Punk was talking about, that Mox was the third best guy in his own stable. But then again, is he? He's champ now, which would make him the best. So, but that's okay. I hear what you're saying. So no, we can all have opinions about who we want as champ and who we love and who we don't like or whatever. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, Claudio hasn't been around long enough to really, well, although he is Ring of Honor champ. So that is interesting that Claudio is Ring of Honor champion and Mox is AEW champ. Now we just got to give the rest of the guys in, damn it, now the name of the faction is completely escaping me. Blackpool Combat, whatever the hell it's called, club, whatever. But yeah, Yuta and Bryan Danielson, give them the tag titles or something. I don't know. It sounded good. That'd be some shit, eh? William Regal just walking out with his boys, just proud as punch, right? All of his boys took all the titles. I wouldn't necessarily be against that. How about you? What do you think? So, I mean, I really had no stock in any of this. It kind of feels like it's going to end up going to Kenny and the Young Bucks because of Kenny coming back. But nonetheless, here with Death Triangle and United Empire, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. United Empire gets the win. Will Ospreay and his boys just, well, especially Will, just proving why he's one of the best. Man, I mean, just the counters alone in this match were just amazing. I want to see, pardon me, I want to see a 1v1 of Ospreay versus Rey Fenix. And I don't know if that's ever happened before, but damn, if it hasn't, it should. Because the stuff that they went back and forth at one point during the match was just mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. I loved it. And so yeah, that's the pretty exciting episode. Some are saying this is going to end up being like the best episode of AEW Dynamite ever. I mean, certainly with that high level of talent on the show, it's hard to say it's not, but not everything on the card was like, a 5-star thing. But certainly with, Mox versus Punk, that certainly is going to draw a lot of eyes. We'll have to, and I don't really give a crap about ratings, but I am curious to see, what the numbers are going to be after this one. So, yeah, a lot happened in this one. I'm a little confused by some of it because now, some of this news is coming out, shortly after that was, you guys were talking about, I think Bell's boy was feeding me some stuff. And these guys love to make up news. Take it with a grain of salt until you hear some like really legit stuff. But I will follow it. I am curious. I don't like to hear about drama like this, especially if it's someone getting bullied out of the company. I love Thunder Rosa. I hope to God it's not true. And I also love Britt Baker. She's come a long way, and I hear she's had a few problems with backstage incidents over the years. Nothing to the level of like a Tessa Blanchard by any means, but I hear things. But it was real, nothing that really hit the light of day and made headlines. It's all, you hear about this and you hear about that, but nothing really seeps to the surface. So let's hope it's not that. I hate hearing about stuff like that, but I'll try and see exactly what the facts are in the soon to near future, and I'll report it right here on Smash This Podcast. So by all means, if you haven't done it already, check out all the links in the description. It's on Facebook, the Twitter box, and the Instaneck. And links for the merch are also in the description if you want to help support the show. But by all means, on your way out of here, make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of my content hits your screen. All right. Good night, folks. It's been a crazy week, but we'll be back tomorrow for some TNI, to Total Nonstop Impact. And we'll do the live reaction and the review following it for all things Impact Wrestling. So much love. Thanks for joining tonight. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Hold my scarf!